Guys?
And it's time for this.
FM.
Ocean Drives films on Thursday with Eclipse Dine-In Cinemas Bundoran. Now serving pizza, hot dogs, ice cream and more to your seat. Find out more at Eclipse.
Well, Thursdays were made for, folks. Yes, time to join our man at the movies, Collie McFadden, with the very latest from Eclipse Cinemas in Bundoran. How was your week at the movies?
Well, it started, like a lot of people who support a certain team, our week didn't start
don't
so well. And when I saw that we were going to be talking about a sports movie this week, Jamie, I was particularly worried. But it's been on a gradual rise, I'm glad to say. Aside from the fact, I was in the cinema all day, and then I came out to do this record with you. I didn't realize how cold it was outside. So I was nice,
super cold.
I was nice and toasty. Don't tell the boss I had the heat on. Nice in the director's lounge watching Champions. And I nipped outside for a coffee and to come out here and talk to you and go, my God, it's March. It was practically balmy last week.
Yeah,
it's gone mad. But anyway, we've lots of stuff for you to watch. We've 3 new movies. We have a couple of specials as well. So lots to talk about and a good variety as well. And will we start with our clip movie this week?
Yeah, this caught my eye, and it looks pretty good, and it's a film called Champions. Explain more.
Championes, indeed. Actually, I say that, but it is actually a remake of a Spanish movie, apparently. Something I didn't know before I read up on the movie just before I went to see it. And it stars Woody Harrelson, who is a professional basketball coach who feels he should be higher up. But things aren't going well, and he's going to end up teaming or coaching a very unlikely team. I think the clip explains most of this.
Okay.
Remember Marcus Markovich?
You gotta make that!
Mark, get off the goal.
Oh! Well, he got fired.
I will offer you community service, coaching adults with intellectual disabilities.
We're going to do a simple ball handling exercise.
My girlfriend loves those.
It's impossible to coach these guys. They just need to feel like a team.
Where did you get this guy?
He just showed up one day.
This is my sister, Alex. You wanna do couple karaoke with us?
I don't like
I
karaoke.
can't knock down.
Can I get up again?
You're never gonna keep me down.
If you can get this team to the Special Olympics finals, you might be ready to be back in the NBA.
I know. This is your shot at being champions.
Girlfriend problems?
That was fun.
You were passable.
I don't have a girlfriend.
Makes sense.
Oh, what, am I that bad looking?
You know McConaughey.
And you know all this. I just want to see this movie.
Yeah, and you know what? It does exactly what it says in the tin. That trailer sums it up wonderfully. Woody Harrelson, of course, who has formed for basketball movies, being one of the white men can't jump people. He is playing this sort of grizzled character that you know from so many movies. Actually, to be honest with you, he's playing my cousin Jim. He started doing that about 10 years ago. It's uncanny. And Jim listens to this from time to time. So yeah, he's still you, Jimbo. But, of course he's grumpy. Of course he's unhappy to be coaching these this team of unlikely characters and all that. And look, what's strange about this movie, it's made by a guy called Bobby Farrelly, who started off by making like Dumb and Dumber and those sort of movies. But people will remember like gross out comedies. But like in things like Something About Mary, her brother was intellectually challenged in that. And it was really played as an interesting character for the kind of first time. There was nothing demeaning. There were no jokes at his expense. As a matter of fact, he was always part of the crack, one of the best characters in Something About Mary. And then he made a movie called The Ringer about a guy who tries to sneak into the Special Olympics. And you would think, oh, that's in really bad taste. But yet again, he employs actors with intellectual disabilities and allows them to shine and be themselves. And it's really joyous because of it. They get all the lines, some pretty rude lines, to be honest with you.
We
get
heard
all the best lines. It is. You would have, even on a day like today, the coldest of hearts, Jamie, would only be warmed by this. And now, I gotta say, we work with a lot of groups here in the cinema who have intellectual disabilities, and I think there'd be a lot to be had for people who work with people like that will recognize more their characters. Of course, it's Hollywood. Of course, it's Hollywoodized. but they will see, real personalities, real characters, the highs, the lows, and so on, in a way, not this whole old stereotype. And it's not, to my book, any way patronizing. It's fun and funny, and it's lovely. And there may even have been a slight tear.
Oh, dear, you're right. Tell me, when does it open?
So that opens tomorrow, and I think it's going to be a slow burn because there's other movies that have got much bigger hype. I think people will really like this. It's only a 12A, so this, even the rude jokes are kind of just like bums and kiss, and it's nothing. It's nothing. It's nothing too bad at all. That it's just a bit on the edge. Anybody,
we're going to give it a thumbs up.
Absolutely. I think you'll enjoy it, and I'd love to know what people think of it. And I think they'll find it a lovely movie for this weekend.
Okay, right. Okay, now you're away. It's Scream 6.
Right. A movie that could be described in many terms, but lovely and heartwarming are probably not two of them. Now, I have to say, this got shown last night, and I didn't get to see it because I was introducing a heartwarming movie, a group of Americans to Collie and Seamie, so I was very pleased about that. So I had some other people go and see it for me. And Stephen, who works in the cinema, said some genuinely brilliant scenes, way better than the last few Screams. Really enjoyed it. And particularly the subway scene. In this movie, Scream has moved to New York. And I think that is a clever idea. Because the whole point of Scream is, who's the killer? You never know who the killer is. I think we said this last week. Yes. In a city like New York, that is going to be... it's a cast of millions. Anyone could be the bad guy. It will be someone we know, I imagine. But they really enjoyed it. Another chap who comes to cinema all the time is great local cinema reviewer called Anthony Quinn. He said, in his words, bloody good fun, because it is gory. It is Scream. Some people aren't going to make it out of it, but those two people know horror like they're way more than I do. And if they give it, I was going to say 2 thumbs up, maybe 1 thumb up, 1 thumb cut off. They really enjoyed it. I'd be bold now. Okay. They really enjoyed it. So if it's pleasing the horror fans, because they are hard to please, then it must be doing something right.
Okay, Scream 6.
6. Oh yeah.
And when's that open? Or have you?
That's open right now. That's open right now.
Have that open, right? We have another new one. It's called 65.
Yes, how my knees feel today, but not a description of that. Actually, just after the passing of Raquel Welch, this is kind of a throwback to it's 65 million years ago. So the plot is Adam Driver is a spaceman, and he's this girl in the spaceship with him. I don't know if it's his daughter or not, because I haven't seen the movie yet, because it only opens tomorrow. They crash land on a planet. Turns out it seems to be Earth, but 65 million years ago. And look who's around, Mr. T-Rex. So there's a thing called a high concept movie. Can you describe it? Spaceman versus T-Rex. That's the movie. If you're into it, and I got to tell you something, I am totally into that. Adam Driver is one of those people. We talked about them last week. He is both a movie star and he could do this stuff. He was great in Star Wars, and he's also a proper actor. He can do the proper acting thing, but he can also be just cool bad guy. He's running around with the big gun, being chased by dinosaurs. What else would you want? What else do you want on a big screen? That'll do me. Absolutely. So 65 opens tomorrow. It looks like good nonsense, and I mean that in the highest compliment.
Well, that's what we go to the movies for good nonsense. Now, Knock at the Cabin is making it as your Missed It Monday.
That is our Missed It Monday. So that was kind of a weird, quirky, not quite horror, kind of religious one. I really liked it. It kind of came and went with not a lot of fuss. There's a chance to see it again on Monday. Actually, we have a couple of specials, chances to see again, because we're the Bandoran Film Club, which is kind of our over 50s, although all are welcome, are doing a special tomorrow of A Man Called Otto, a film both you and I loved. And of course, we have our parent and baby screening of On Collie and Seamie. And I think we should mention it again this weekend. I know I've mentioned it every week for 40 weeks, but this is the Oscar weekend. Wouldn't it be great when we're talking again next Thursday to be mentioning Banshees or Collie and Seamie or The Irish Goodbye or any of the other, and there's like people involved in Avatar who are from Ireland as well. So hopefully some of the Irish acts will do really well this weekend at the Olympics, at the Oscars.
And
It's
the day
been a long
before
day.
St. Patrick's Day as well. It'll be great having you back on next Thursday. Have a good week at the movies. Thanks again, as always, Kelly. There's some great movies in there. Can't wait. And I can't wait to have you back here next Thursday. Have a good week at the movies.
Bye.
Guys, films on